All right. We started streaming. Now I just have
All
to
right.
find my notes. Different page.
Right. All right. Here we go. Welcome to Nintendo Dads, episode 182, recorded on May 31st, 2018. On tonight's episode, we discuss the huge, shocking Pokemon news that dropped this week, as well as tons of other E3 rumors that have surfaced in just the past couple of hours, leaks, and guess what, guys? Mega Man. Oh, yeah, that's right. We're talking about it tonight, right here. Cue the music.
I'll think about it.
I'll dance.
All right. Here we go. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Nintendo Dads. I am one of your hosts, Marty Estes, and we are so thankful for you joining us here tonight on Canada's number 3 Nintendo podcast. If you go type in Nintendo. Yeah.
Wow.
It happens. It happens.
Nice.
Justin posted about it in the Discord earlier this week, and I was totally shocked. This little old redneck video game lover from West Tennessee is number 3 in Canada. All those high school people who made fun of me. Yep. Here I am. Started
Big
at the
time.
bottom. Now I'm here. Also with me this week is one Mr. Jesse Waldack. How are you, Jesse?
Greetings. I'm doing good. So I think we're on week 4 now without any air conditioning, so it's really hot down here. I did sign the contracts to get a new unit installed, so, and they still had to go with city permits because this building changes, and cause I'm also getting electrical power upgrade as well because my breaker box is awful, is old, and I've been told multiple times it's ancient.
At this point, Jesse, you're just one with the sweat, right?
I am. So they said it'll be at about. Looks like they can do construction in about 2 weeks. I'm like, oh, E3 week. Oh, so we'll find out when we get to do that.
Fun.
Because I'm not going to lose power for a day if it involves me missing a press conference or 2. I'll say, no, let's do that. Let's do this construction next week or on Friday or something.
Yeah.
Priorities.
Yeah. Speaking of priorities,
I do.
That voice that you hear is one Mr. Timothy Off, Patreon Discord manager extraordinaire, and one of our exclusive Patreon producers who we do let come on the show and guest host from time to time. We're so thankful for our Patreon producers, Dave and Tim and Chris. And guys, you need to get your turn on the show as well. Unfortunately for us, we're forgetful, and Tim actually reminded us, hey, you're supposed to let us guest on the show.
For a friend.
For a friend, right? Yeah.
For those other guys.
I mean, I'm glad he reminded us because we do forget. We are human. We do forget. But Tim, how are you tonight?
I am doing great. I'm ecstatic. I am excited. I'm nervous.
That's cool. I'm jealous.
We won't bite too hard.
And for those of you who are listening to this just on the audio version, Tim is wearing an amazing hat. It features 8-bit Mario jumping into flames coming out of Bowser's mouth. It's all from the very first Super Mario Bros. Game. Oh, and it has the Gray Goomba as well. That is super cool. That's super cool. Where did you get that hat?
A place called Disc Replay here in our area. It's one of those resale game shops.
That's
they also
cool.
Resale movies.
I thought you were going to say like, oh yeah, Nintendo New York. Where only cool people can get it. I don't know. I mean, they've got all kinds of stuff up there that normal Nintendo fans can have. That. And speaking of normal Nintendo fans,
like Zelda scarves.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of normal Nintendo fans probably want us to get into the news, so let's do that right now.
412. Okay.
All right, guys, our news tonight is brought to us by us. And what I mean by that is over at patreon.com/Nintendo Dads, you too, for $1 a month, can go and change the world. You can be like Tim. You can be like all our other patrons. $1 a month to $30 a month. We don't mind. And a couple of weeks ago, guys, we even posted a new goal. And you know what? I didn't even say what that was, I don't think, during the show, but I'm going to say it tonight. The goal was that when we meet this goal, which is it's way out there, But when we meet this goal, we will host our first ever Nintendo Dads live in-person meetup.
Yes.
And yeah, I know. Like, it's so super exciting, and we would love to do that. We already have a goal of sending a member or members of the team to a con, so that's not this. This is for the fans. This is helping us meet you, and that would include extensive travel for some of us, like international travel. And so that, like I said, that goal is out there. But when we meet that goal, we'll begin to plan that. And until we meet that goal, we just appreciate your support. Even $1 a month is like you giving us a gentle back massage that takes away all of our stress. And now everybody is creeped out by my illustration. So guys, let's dive in and let's talk about this. Holy Pokemon. What a load of Pokemon news came out this week after multiple weeks of this being teased. In fact, internet leakers and internet rumor mills churning and turning. Emily Rogers was actually correct again for once.
And the funny part is these leaks started out, I think, on April 1st. So many people blew it off as a hoax.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And like even the official Pokemon accounts were getting in on it. Eevee, the official Eevee account tweeted something the day before, like, be ready for tomorrow, and everybody's like dissecting all these comments and posts of Pikachu and plushes with all kinds of things and leading up to this. And so basically what happened is that the Pokemon Company had a press conference on Tuesday night in Japan. It would have been Tuesday night for us, of course, it's during the day.
Yeah,
for them.
It was Wednesday morning for them.
Yeah, okay, so Wednesday morning for them, in which they announced not one.
They're like 11 hours ahead, I think.
Yes. Not one, not two, but 3 brand new Pokemon games for the Switch. So what I want us to do tonight is just start with the game that is actually available right now, and go up from there to the game that is not going to be available this year. Okay? So a couple of key things to talk about before we get to this. They did announce Pokemon Quest, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, which we had already kind of seen logos for in leaks, right? We knew those were coming. Pokemon Quest is a mobile game that launched on the Switch and will be available on iOS and Android by the end of June. And then they also announced a new core Pokemon game for Switch that will be releasing in late 2019. And we'll get into those details here in just a minute, because there's a couple of, a couple of things that that announcement dispels or fears that it allays when you look at Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu in that light. So let's talk about Pokemon Quest at first. Jesse, you've played Pokemon Quest, right?
Yeah, I did about a 90-minute stream, like within a half an hour of it being live on Switch. I was up live. I think Zach was even doing some streaming on Twitch.
Yeah,
I did my streaming on YouTube.
Yeah.
And
Tim, have you played Pokemon Quest?
Actually forgot about it and downloading it right now.
There you go. Awesome.
Yeah,
when it first launched, you actually could not find it in America.
Yeah, you had to search for it. It wasn't so.
You had to search for it. It was there.
Yeah.
But they just hadn't updated the eShop yet. It wasn't morning yet, so the icon wasn't up, but you could go download it. So since you've played it, Jesse, why don't you tell us a little bit about, for those of listeners who haven't downloaded it, like Tim, what is Pokemon Quest?
Okay, so it's definitely a mobile game. Yeah, so it's got the energies bar. You're able to like perform 5 levels before you run out of energy. It refreshes 1 energy every half an hour. But the gameplay is, you can take a party up to 3 Pokemon into this arena, and they'll automatically run to their targets as they spawn. And each level will have 3 or 4 waves, and then even some waves will have mini sub-waves. So, and each Pokemon will have 1 or 2 special attacks in addition to their standard attack. And the standard attack is like your traditional MMO-like combat. Is it'll just automatically attack on its own, and then the special attacks think like Xenoblade. So they're the special attacks are ones you have to trigger that'll then have a cooldown, and you can set it to not. I have mine set to automatic, so it just does things on its own because I didn't want to manage that. But if you want to manage which special attacks get fired off when, you can do that. And then as you level up, each Pokemon has its own like a grid of power-ups, starting off with like 1 or 2 badge slots, and as it levels up more, it unlocks more and more badge slots. And during the level, you'll earn additional badges that'll either increase your attack power or increase your hit points. And the sum total of both stats for each of your 3 Pokemon in your party gives you a team score. And all the levels then have a score on their side, which tells you about how difficult it is. So like if my team only has a 1700 score and the next level is 2000, no way I'm going to win it. I should go back and grind more and try to get better stats. And they have some side things going on, like there's a cooking mechanic. You collect these materials, kind of like Breath of the Wild. You collect these mushrooms and other doodads, cook them up. That attracts Pokemon that you can then invite into your party. So I just happened to got lucky. I got a Lickitung, and of course I had to tell Roger about it because that's his favorite Pokemon. And apparently,
can I tell you what my my second cook was?
Sure.
Because it would make your son jealous.
Did you get a shiny
a shiny Krabby.
Nice.
A shiny Krabby that just completely flattens everything.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
So this Lickitung was a tank. It came with like 600 hit points before adding any badges. It had really low attack, but it had two attack slots that I was able to put in badges, and so it became a pretty good tank. I was able to beat the 3rd level because of him. So now I'm in the 4th area.
In your whole description, what I'm surprised but not surprised about, knowing you, Jesse, is that you have not mentioned the art style of this game at all.
I have not. Yeah, it's Minecraftian, Robloxian, voxel graphics.
I actually thought that it owed more to Crossy Road.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one.
Well, it's like one of the most popular iOS games, period. They did a Disney version of it, but it's the same thing. It's very pixelated, minimalistic designs of characters, and then the original, it's like you can be a chicken or a frog or a bird or a cat, and it's like a block with some features attached to it, and that's like Pikachu in this game is like a square with a line for a tail and some eyes and a mouth.
Yep.
I kind of think it's great.
It grows on you. When I first saw it, I thought, ew. And my son had the same opinion. But so he said just because there's shinies in it, he's probably going to download it and give it a try.
Yeah. Well, I've got the shiny proof.
I'll let him know.
It's there.
Oh, yeah, his YouTubers that he subscribes to have already shown off their shinies, so he knows.
That's fantastic. And I love the fact that this game is something that you can, because of the energy or whatever, like those type of things, or because of the power limitations on the levels, that you have to get past. This is one of those games that you can literally pick up and play for 5 or 10 minutes and then put it down and you're done. Right. I've done my energy. I'm done. I have to wait 30 minutes to an hour. That's fine. I'm okay with that. You can leave it and let it cook, the food, and you never know which kind of Pokemon you're going to get with it or whatever. I think this is genius. It's not meant to take the place of a mainline game. It's not meant to even be anywhere near a mainline game.
No, because you basically don't. You can literally start a battle, put it down, and then come back 5 minutes later and see if you won or not. You don't. So everything can be set to automatic.
And here's the really neat thing about it is that this is a mobile game, and Nintendo. This is a blatant Nintendo mobile game, right?
Oh, yeah.
And they have chosen to launch it first on the Switch. which I think is an awesome strategy that they need to look into for further mobile releases.
So I haven't seen. I don't know if haven't dug deep into it yet. How much it would cost to buy more premium currency? I've only just gotten the premium currency by completing the in-game quests.
I do know that somebody in a group that I'm part of on Facebook, Nintendo Nostalgia Chat, one of the guys there was asking if anyone had bought the $30 package yet, and I have no clue what that is. I honestly have not gotten any time to spend with this game. The last 2 days of work have been really hectic, and it dropped just at a really inconvenient time.
Right.
So, but again, it's one of those, like, I might, like, Enter the Gungeon, you know, like I can play and put 30 minutes into and I'm done, right? This is even better. Like, I can put 5-10 minutes into it, and I brought my Switch to work today planning on doing that, like setting it up, letting it run, and then moving, you know, going doing something else and then coming back and looking what happened. That did not happen
Right.
today. That my day did not allow me to do that.
So if people listening are piecing together what I said, you know, I played for 90 minutes, but you only have 5 energy, and people might be wondering, how did he do that? So when you beat the first and second area, the reward for doing so is maximum energy. So I gamed it a little bit, so I didn't claim it until I had 0 energy. Then I claimed it so that I can keep on playing. So, in fact, when I was done with my 5th energy, there was only like 3 minutes left before I had another energy. So I just kind of killed time, played that 6th round, then claimed with the energy. Now I'm max again. I was able to play for another 25 minutes. And then cleared level 2, then I get max energy again. So I literally, that's how I was able to play for an hour and a half with, you know,
I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
Sure.
So I'm just getting started in mine, but it says tap to start. What were the controls like when you guys were playing it? Is it a lot of tapping, or do
you can
both?
play either with the touchscreen or with the control sticks or Pro Controller.
Yeah, when I was streaming, I was on Pro Controller. So the
difference is, yeah, you actually have to guide a hand around the screen, right?
Right.
Okay.
So your left stick moves the pointer that you can push A then to simulate the tap, where the right stick will then shift the background. Where if you're actually playing with touch controls, that'd be like your tap and drag to move the map, or you can just tap the screens.
And here's the thing: this is one of those games that, like, it doesn't really need to be docked. And it's like Sushi Strikers, the demo. I much more enjoyed it as a touchscreen game.
Yeah.
And like, I think it lends itself very well.
Yeah.
It's like Jesse said, it's definitely a mobile game, right?
Yeah, there's no way. They're not even trying to hide it this time.
Very touch integrated. And so I would recommend you playing with touch controls, simply because, like, if you don't auto battle with your Pokemon, that way you're able to pick which attack you want to do easier.
Yeah,
it's easier to me.
When I was trying that initially during the stream, and having to joystick mouse cursor to the different buttons to push to activate them was a pain. That's why I activated the auto attack. Zach's in the chat says, "Screw mouse controls. Touch controls are bust."
Yeah, absolutely. So Tim, like, you said you had forgot about this game, or you just downloading it right now. Is this, like, before we started talking about it, was this something on your radar? Did it pique your interest?
It piqued my interest because of my kids, essentially. It's usually they hear stuff from me, like, because they got those Switches they got for Christmas, and I'll tell them about some of these games, especially if they're free. It helps my wallet a lot. So I'd like them to try it out, and before they try it out, usually I'm the one trying them out. So it was on my radar to download it, just didn't get a chance to do it this week. I've been busy too. So
sure. So speaking of kids, let's move on and talk about this second announcement that the Pokemon Company made, because I think that kids are one of the major targets of the announcement of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. They announced this with a very well-produced trailer. It started in first person, kid on his bike, and he runs into Pikachu, and Pikachu, beckons him to follow him, and they go home, and he jumps over the couch as the kid puts his Switch in the dock, and Pikachu jumps into the screen, and all of a sudden you see the world of Kanto come alive like it never has before. And they really have this, they had that tagline, your first adventure in a new format or in a new style. And there's a lot of people who took from that, your first adventure. Oh, it's the first adventure. It's like they're moving over from Go, or they're moving over from whatever. I felt like this was like they didn't just tap the nostalgia button with this. They taped the nostalgia button down and then ripped it off the console, right? Because what they're doing with this this whole thing to me was dads and moms who played through Pokemon Red, Pokemon Blue, Pokemon Yellow. Hey guys, you remember how much fun that was? You remember hiding under the bed sheets at night to capture Pikachu and Mewtwo? Hey, wouldn't you like to do that with your kids? And so it's your first adventure now in a new style, right? And then they hook you in with, oh, you can play with your kids, right? And so obviously the big deal about this is that it is a return to the Kanto region. It's going to feature the first 150 Pokemon, including their Alolan forms, which I think is interesting. But that's because they're in Pokemon Go. And that's the big hook, right? That this is basically Pokemon Go on steroids.
Right. Well, right now only Executor Alolan is in Go, but by the time this comes out, I think all of the Alolans will be out there.
Yeah, they'll be on there, including, and this kind of came out after it, one Pokemon that has never been seen before will be in this game. So they dropped this trailer, they dropped these games, then they also dropped the news that there will be a new controller that comes out with this that is a Pokeball that allows you to control the game one-handed.
This, just like Quest, was one of those, oh my god, I don't believe they did that. But the more I see it, the more I see what it's doing, it's genius.
Yeah, absolutely. Is anybody getting a roaring?
Yeah. Is that you, Tim?
Okay.
Someone had a...
Hey, Tim?
Yeah, that was, it's my air conditioning. Mine works.
I got you. So, yeah, I mean, they dropped this, they dropped the Pokeball, they dropped the thing. Now, I'm gonna make some comments at the end of our time talking about Pokemon, but I will say this in the beginning. No announcement in recent history has taught me how ungrateful people are than these 3 Pokemon announcements. I like the internet over the last day and a half, especially Nintendo internet, has been so intolerable that I have just stopped going. I've just stopped reading anything but news sites, because the amount of whining that is coming out about Let's Go is just, oh my gosh. It's almost as bad as the put Goku in Smash. Movements. It really is. Like when that Smash trailer dropped and everybody started about, let me give you some logical reasons for Goku. No, there are no logical reasons. Please go sit down. Anyway, Tim, are you buying this? Because you mentioned kids.
Yes.
What do you think?
Yeah, definitely, because my daughter loves Eevee, so I'm guessing that she's gonna want that one, and she's 13, so she's all about that. And then my 10-year-old loves Pikachu. He's always stealing my Pikachu, amiibo, but and playing with them. So he definitely wants to get that. And I actually want the Pokeball controller, because I think that's a pretty cool controller.
I'm a 38-year-old man, and I want that Pokeball controller.
Right.
I'm not going to lie.
And yeah, I'm actually interested in that too if I can get a hold of a pre-order.
Well, I just think that it's more like it lends itself to that type of gameplay, right? I mean, it's what everyone has always wanted to do, and that's why I don't understand the complaining. And here's the deal. This is Nintendo who told us that, or who sold us on motion gameplay is essential for ARMS, and then people finally get a hold of it and get inside the package, and guess what they find out? It plays just as well with a controller, right? So guess what Pokemon Let's Go is going to do? It's going to play just as well with a controller. And do you know why? Accessibility.
Yep.
Nintendo is going to make it as accessible as possible for you. If you want to turn motion controls off or not use them, you will be able to do that. I promise you.
And with being so similar to Go, and actually Onyx has a question about that. We'll get to that in a minute. With how many people came, 2 years ago when Go launched, millions of people who haven't touched a Pokemon game in years came back and say, "Hey, this is cool." They're trying to, yes, the game lost a number of those players by now, but that game is still going strong, and the Let's Go games will, I think will bring people back to Go, and bring back the people who came back for Go to come back to actually play a real game.
Yep.
Absolutely. So what about this question from Onyx?
Onyx says, just got on, but how do you feel about the catching Pokemon only Pokemon Go-esque instead of battling them? Sorry if this has already been answered. And it hasn't been answered. We just started talking about it.
Here's the deal. I don't like it as a rule of thumb for Pokemon Go, like on the screen. But I think here it's fine, and I don't know what about it makes me really like it, other than the fact that I love the dual catch system that they're incorporating, with a buddy, or with your kids or whatever.
Yeah, how will that work? Will they both end up, or I don't know how that works. Yeah,
I think it's going to be is I'm playing, and you drop in as an unnamed friend
just to help,
and you're helping.
Okay,
right.
That would make sense.
It's like assistance mode, assist mode or whatever. But I don't know. There's something about it, and I think that really what the rub is for me is that there's not a game outside of that in Pokemon Go. And you can argue with me all you want about that, but to me, Pokemon Go is not a game. It's more of a platform. It's more of a time suck. It's like there's not much of a game there to me. But here you have exploration. Here you have trainer battles. I'm going to assume you have gym battles as well if you can battle trainers, right? Because you're following the story of Pokemon Yellow.
Right.
So, there's more to it. I'm not just flicking a Pokeball on the screen and walking around my hometown where there's no Pokemon.
There was a gym in there, so
yeah. So I'm gonna get to explore. I mean, I don't think you're just gonna walk through Kanto and be done, and then be like, oh, you caught so many Pokemon, great job. I think that it's gonna, there's probably gonna be Team Rocket, and there's probably gonna be some other stuff going on. But this is a classic Nintendo trailer where they show you stuff to hype you up, and then they give you all the details later.
Yeah, and I think Roger even said something similar on his videos. But I think that the wild Pokemon battling in the core games are the weakest aspect of those games. It's because if you want to grind, it's difficult to grind to get to have the experience points land where you want them to land. If you don't want to grind, if you just want to get from point A to point B, you have all these random battles in your way. So here kind of eliminates both problems by having
being honest with you, I think that's why I've had a problem with most Pokemon games in the past, is because I love turn-based role-playing games. I like West of Loathing. I'm playing that right now. But in that game, I have 2 characters to manage right now, right? And I know kind of where their skills are, and I know what's going on. With Pokemon, it's like, catch them all. Okay, but now which ones do I use? And so I kind of get this analysis paralysis of I don't know what I need to progress. And oh my God, they gave me a Goldeen, and what do I do with a Goldeen, or what do I do with a Magikarp? Oh, well, you raise it up till its level 20 whatever, and it turns into a Gyarados. Okay, well, I'll do this battle where I start with Magikarp, and then I move it, out, and then I like get another Pokemon, and it beats them, and I do that over and over and over ad nauseum, and it gets boring. Yeah, well, and by the time I'm like a fourth of the way through the game, I'm like, forget it. I'm done. This is going to make me play all the way to the end.
Yeah. Well, one thing about not having the random battles is, and you won't be able to grind experience that way, so I'm sure they're going to have to find some way to retune how experience works. So you'll still have a decent party by the time you get to the final four, and let's not have a bunch of underleveled gimps that are just going to get your butt kicked.
It's going to be based on those. It's going to be based on trainer battles, and it's going to be based on gyms.
Yeah,
and other challenges. I really and I'm telling you now that one of those challenges is going to be how well you throw that Pokeball.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Can you get a great? Can you get an excellent?
Because they do that in Go now with the field research.
Yep.
They have like mini quests.
Yeah. I have a question about the video part. Going back to that video, Marty, when you were talking about how Nintendo is really good at hyping you in the video. Now, when I was first watching that video, did anybody else think augmented reality when they started watching that? Just from Pikachu? Because I thought they were going to go somewhere with that at first. Like, this is going to be augmented reality the way they were showing it.
I do. And I think that their answer to that would probably be the same answer as VR. We're not there yet.
Right.
Yeah, I didn't think that at all. I just figured this was just like your traditional pre-announcement CGI trailer that has nothing to do with the game.
Right.
We'll see a lot of that at E3, I guarantee you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. And the thing is that we're going to see this game again at E3.
Oh yeah.
Like the fact that this has happened prior to Nintendo's digital event, they're going to have this game playable at E3. I really believe that. It's going to be on that show floor in some form or fashion somewhere.
They'll spend some time, the
treehouse
time with it.
Interviews.
Yeah. I
it
completely think
won't
that's
be mentioned
happen.
in the actual digital presentation, but it will have an E3 presence, yes.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be there, and you're going to be able to. There's people who are there going to be able to hold that Pokeball, and that's what's going to sell people.
The chat was talking about gyms and wondering if there are gyms. I'm saying yes, they're going to have the gyms because Game Explain put out a video this morning, and I'm surprised at the quality of this video and with how fast they put it out. They recreated that trailer out of footage from Yellow. Whenever you saw a area on a map, you saw that same area from Yellow, and one of them was running by a gym, and I think there was only one scene that didn't line up, but NPC placements, walking path placements, building placements, they were dead on.
And here's something I want to say to this, and if you're out there and you're listening and you don't like these games, I want you to understand that this is the good part about this. Look at the silver lining of this is the two silver linings from this. Okay. Number one, this is not the mainline Pokemon game. All right. You have been promised a mainline Pokemon game for 2019. We finally have a for sure date, a for sure window, right, of time. Instead of going, is it 2008? Is it 2019? Maybe it's 2020. It's late 2019. I'm telling you, it's November 2019. They might as well have just gone ahead and said that, right?
Right.
I know they did that because they want to leave that window just in case something slips. The second thing is, here's the bright, shiny silver lining for a lot of people. That mainline Pokemon game is not going to the Kanto region. And that's what so many people were griping about prior to this announcement. Well, what if we go? I don't want it to be a reboot. I don't want it. Well, here's the thing. They are rebooting Pokemon, but they're doing it in a way that brings in kids and brings in Go players, right?
Yeah.
So that when 2019's brand new Pokemon launches on the Switch and it looks incredible and everything about it is magical and awesome, all of those people who've been playing Let's Go Pikachu go, oh my gosh, I want that.
Okay, yeah, this game does multiple things. It brings in the casuals that haven't played in a while and new kids. It gives the developers a chance to learn how to program the Switch, you know, in an easier to develop game versus something 100% new. And you know, remember when X and Y came out, the first games for the 3DS, that was it. The engine was really, eh. This gives them a year to iron out the glitches in this new engine. So when Gen 8 starts next year, they already have a jump start on it.
Absolutely.
So
there's so many positives coming out of this, and like I can't be more excited about this game. Like I want it to come out tomorrow. I want that Pokeball. So like I'm all over it. Like watching my son watch this trailer, you know, and realizing that he was like, Dad, it's like Pokemon Go. Which, by the way, let me say this: they did mention in this press conference, Pokemon Go has been downloaded 800 million times. That is a lot of downloads. Now I know it's like me. A lot of times it's like I had it and then I deleted it and then I had it and I deleted it again.
I was going to say,
now I've got it back.
I was going to say the
time.
same thing.
But then you've got my brother-in-law who has been on Pokemon Go since it first downloaded, and he's never deleted it.
Yeah, I never deleted mine.
Sure there's a lot of people like that, right?
There's been times when I stopped playing for a few months at a time, but you know, I'm back into it again. I talked about last week. I have 3 Zapdos. I'm able to finish the next field research to get a 4th one, but no, why would I want to do that? I'll wait till tomorrow when I can get an Articuno.
Right, right. There you go. And so, like, it's going to bring in all these people, and here's it's going to have a dual effect, right? Because this is going to drop, and people are going to get pushed back to Pokemon Go as well.
Yep.
For the trading back and forth. And so all the people who've said, man, I wish Pokemon Go had battles. I wish Pokemon Go had more exploration. I wish Pokemon Go had more story. Guess what? It does. It's called Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. So the important question, the big question, gentlemen, is this. This is the one for all the marbles. Eevee or Pikachu?
Pikachu.
I'm actually on the fence. My youngest daughter, who plays a little bit of Pokemon, isn't as avid as my son, but I asked her if she could pick Pikachu or Eevee, and then as soon as I said that out loud, I'm like, oh, that was a stupid question, because I know Eevee's her favorite Pokemon. She has a party set up in her Rex game of nothing but evolutions.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I do give Eevee that. Evolutions are awesome.
Of course, Eevee's the one she wants.
Well, but here's the thing: they have announced that neither starter Pokemon will evolve.
Doesn't mean you can't catch others.
That's true, but I wondered if it meant that there just weren't evolutions.
We'll find out.
I don't know. Well, I mean, there's all 150, so there, Squirtle, Wartortle, Blastoise are counted as 3, so that's a dumb.
You can catch
good job,
ones
dumb.
that are already evolved.
That's true. Yeah,
earlier on, someone. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So earlier on, someone in the chat said the new Pokemon will be Garachu, which is the proposed second evolution of Pikachu that never happened.
I can totally see that happening.
And Roger, I think, said the same thing in this video, or it could be a new evolution of a normal type.
It could be. It could. I think whatever it's going to be, this is my theory on that, is that it will have regular and Alolan form. Both. I think it will fit in with this brand new, bringing in Alolan forms. But we'll see. So, guys, I'm going Pikachu, by the way. I'm sorry. I just, like, Pikachu is it for me. Like, that's what made me like Pokemon in the first place. So that's Pokemon Let's Go. Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee. Those drop November 16th, along with the Pokeball controller. And online, here's one thing that we missed that we maybe want to talk about for a minute. The online service will be active at this time, but it will not be required for Pokemon Let's Go, even though there are going to be online I guess, is it online battles?
I'm sure there'll be battles and trades.
Battles and trades
that's kind
online
of the normal thing.
without Nintendo Switch Online service, which is kind of neat, I think. It definitely shows that they're moving for a different audience there. What they're going to basically do is they're going to say, you know what, you've already got this for iOS, and you already pay for data or whatever. There, we're not going to make you pay for online service here.
As for choosing between Pikachu and Eevee, my son normally gets all versions eventually, but he'll get one to start with, and the one I will pick is usually the one he doesn't.
Right.
Yep, I used to do that with my oldest.
But he has Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, and Ultra Moon, and plays them all, and shiny hunts on all of them.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. I can't wait to see his reaction to these games, especially if they're shinies in these, which there probably will be. I mean, that's the new thing to include Pokemon. Let's move on. Let's talk about this one last thing here. New core Pokemon game was the last thing that the Pokemon Company announced. It is coming for the Switch. It will be releasing late 2019. They gave no other details than that, other than, hey guys, we're working on it. We know you want it. It's coming. The fact, though, what we kind of discern from that, from Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee being the Kanto region, that this will presumably be Generation 8 Pokemon, though we don't know. And so, not spending a lot of time on this, but because there's really not anything to spend time on, but like, does this announcement get you excited, you two? Like, is this on your radar at all?
Yes. I'm excited because I want to be able to, I want to give it another try. So, because like you, Marty, I get going and I'll give a Pokemon game a try, and I get bored with it. I even gave Moon and Sun a try, got halfway through Moon or Sun, and just kind of moved on to the next game.
Yeah,
I'll definitely be getting it. I think the only generations that I completely skipped were 3 and 5. But starting with like X and Y, I bought it and tried it. In the X and Y's case, it didn't click. I think the pacing was bad, and so I got to the second gym and then just never finished it. But for I got Sun and Moon and finished its story and did some of the post game content. Not sure if I did it all, but I very rarely do. I usually try to get to the credits roll, and then I'm happy with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, that pretty much wraps up our talk on Pokemon. You can go and check out. There's plenty of footage and all kinds of stuff from that trailer. There's a translated Q&A that I saw online today. All the information's out there, images and different things, and we encourage you to go check it out if you still are looking for some of that. But Jesse, this week, let's hop over there here and talk about this for just a minute. A very important pre-order happened yesterday, if I'm right, or Tuesday.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
It was okay. So it was yesterday, which would be Wednesday, according to if you're keeping track, because you're listening to this on Friday,
right?
Or if you're watching right now, you're on Thursday. Who knows? I'm going to quit before we get everybody confused. Anyway, there's a really important pre-order.
The morning of May 30th.
Morning of May 30th, Atari VCS went up for pre-order. How is that going, by the way?
As I just checked before we started recording, they have already raised over $2.2 million.
Wow.
And I am surprised.
That's a lot of money.
It is. In fact, the campaign crashed Indiegogo. It took me 2 hours before I could finally get my pre-order in.
So you did get a pre-order?
I did get the pre-order.
So you've bought in. Which version of this are you getting?
All right, so I'll quickly run down what they're offering. There are two line items that are on extra discount until the 4th. You had to be on their mailing list in advance to see it. If you weren't on that mailing list, you didn't see these offers. But so the first one was they call it an Onyx unit. It's pretty much all black. It has no controllers for $199. After the 4th, it'll be $249. Then they have the Onyx unit with a joystick for $229, and it goes up to $279 after the fourth. Oh, and then they have the same unit with a joystick and a modern controller for $319. Then they have the collector's edition, which is basically the same thing, but it has a little bit of wood grain paneling for $299 with a joystick. And I think that wood paneling is not worth $70, so I went with the Onyx unit. Or you can get the collector's edition with a joystick and controller for $339. And then you can also order the joystick alone for $29, the controller alone for $49, or both controllers for $59. So I ended up with the Onyx unit with no controllers, and then added both controllers.
So here's my question, because I mean, I'm cool that this is I'm really excited that this is something people are jazzed about, because we get it. I got excited about the Nintendo Classic, or the NES Classic, the Super Nintendo Classic. I realize this is like that for some people, but my question is how does and I ask this as a fan of a company who sold a mini console with a 2-foot long controller. All right. So I fully realize that Nintendo is not, a saint when it comes to this. But how does a company get away with selling a console with no controllers?
Yeah, that confused me. Which, I think, once, and the only reason because of that extra discount, getting that unit with both controllers separately actually was cheaper than buying the line item that had the unit and both controllers. But after the discount on the fourth expires, then ordering that unit makes no sense at all. You would want to get one with the one controller or the other or both. So Sean French in chat has some good questions. He goes, can you explain to me why you ordered this? What about it has interested you, and how is it worth the money? And the whole project seems like vaporware. Very possible this thing could be just a craptacular disaster like the Ouya was. But, and was it worth the money? Probably not. I was hoping this would be a little bit less. But I am kind of a collector of obscure consoles. So anything new that is, if I have the money to throw at it, I want to throw at it. And I did grow up playing in Atari and in television. So there are games out there that I wouldn't mind replaying again. Most of those games are garbage, but there's a few good ones out there. And the ability to play something that's legitimately packaged through an HDMI so I can record it and stream content is nice. Although, I have an NES Classic modded that has a Atari 26 emulator on it, and I can still play and stream and record games that way. But at least this way I have the joystick that has the nostalgic feel of a joystick, not versus a modern controller. And I think that joystick does look kind of cool. Has LED lights on it, and that's kind of cool.
And so, basically what you're saying is, it all amounts to streaming and nostalgia.
And I am a glutton for punishment. Yes.
So the $1 million question
I bought a Ouya, and I think I played it for 5 minutes.
I was just about to ask you, did you buy a Ouya?
I bought a Ouya. I bought the PlayStation TV. None of those are they're in a box hidden somewhere because they didn't get any play.
I did not buy it, but I own a Virtual Boy.
I want one.
And every now and then I will get it out and I will put it on my TV or table and play it to remind myself why no one should ever play a Virtual Boy.
Oh,
it's terrible.
I kicked myself. I had the opportunity to buy one when it was new, but of course I was 22-year-old with just barely getting in my first job, so I had no disposable income.
You look, my friend, you dodged a bullet.
I would still, if I could find one affordable, I'd get one. But
I tell you what, I don't know where it is right now, but if I can ever get my hands on it again, and we get to meet up, I will bring it, and you can play it until you get a migraine, which will be about 5 to 10 minutes.
That sounds fair, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So, like I said, literally, that's why no one likes that system or owns one because, yeah, it's the most migraine-inducing thing I've ever done. Tim, do you own any retro consoles? Did you buy the SNES classics?
I have the SNES Classic because I couldn't find the NES Classic.
Right.
But I did find the SNES one, and I'm living vicariously through Jesse
well,
for the Atari. So
the NES Classics will go back on sale next month. We talked about that last week.
If I catch one, I'll get one.
I'm going to be honest with you that I think these are going to be you're going to be able to find them. I think they're going to be SNES Classic. Okay. No, I'm talking about the NES Classic. Yeah. I think the NES Classic is going to be available widely.
Yeah, because they said they'll be selling them through the end of the year. So even though quantities may be hard to find early on, give it until September, you'll probably find them lying around everywhere.
Yeah,
I think the oldest machine I have right now is the Game Boy SP, and I just recently took the battery out and packed that away so it would be safe.
I've got one of those, and I've got a GameCube thanks to Colin Harris.
Yeah, I have a GameCube sitting right there too.
I'm thankful. I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, this is my 001 unit. I have a 101 unit somewhere. I think my son took it.
Yep. And I have a Game Boy Advance as well.
The Game Boy Advance SP is honestly my favorite portable system of all time.
That's what got me back into Nintendo.
That folding, that compact, I love that system. So good. So good. I hope that we get a classic of those one of these days, honestly. But speaking of other retro systems, Jesse.
Onyx in chat jokingly says mini Famicom disc console in 2020. And there's a retro game shop in my house that actually has Famicom disc systems available to buy. And I want one, but I'll probably never do it.
Yeah. So, let's keep talking about these retro systems, right? In television.
Yeah,
tell us about that, because
that's a thing.
That is seriously, a name that probably people haven't heard, and there may be people listening to this who've never heard that name.
Yeah. So in fact, I have a television system behind me in my mess that I haven't tried in years, but last time I tried to use it, it still works fine. But so the company known as Intellivision Entertainment now has announced that they have a new president, which was formerly Keith Robinson, but he passed away last year. The new president is Tommy Tallarico. I might be butchering that name. If he sounds familiar, he's the guy who put on the Video Games Live concerts.
Who also, ironically, is one of the, I think many people regard him as one of the most prolific composers of the 90s, like the Genesis era, around that time. I remember so many times hearing his name and the words "cool spot" in the same sentence.
Yes. All right, so they announced that they are putting out a new console. They haven't given any details yet. They said they'll have more information that they plan on releasing on October 1st. And part of their PR says that they will carry on the tradition of firsts with its new concept, design, and approach to gaming. And they had a QA on Facebook earlier today, but I haven't had a chance to see all of it. I think I watched the first 10 minutes to get an idea of what was going on, and so far it seems interesting. I will plan on watching that more tomorrow or this weekend.
Yeah.
But their PR says in their lists of firsts, the first 16-bit gaming machine, first to offer digital distribution, and they had like a cable rental service type of thing. First to bring synthesized voices to games, first to license professional sports leagues and organizations, and first to be a dedicated game console and home computer, But I'm thinking, then does that no longer make it a dedicated home console or game console? But anyway, I actually owned. I don't have it anymore. I think, but still maybe at my parents' house. But I used to have the keyboard component, and did some programming in that rudimentary basic language it had.
Yeah. Awesome. So that'll go on sale, and I'm sure you'll keep us up to date on that. Let's move on and talk about a couple of big stories, and then get into what we've been playing. E3 rumors are abounding right now. There's leaks all over the place, and right now the internet is not a safe place to be if you were trying to remain spoiler free for E3. I mean, when you've even got Walmart leaking stuff, the internet is not safe. So let's talk about a couple of these bigger leaks that came out this week. Sonic Racing, the brand new Sonic Racing game, was leaked by Walmart. It is now going to be called Team Sonic Racing. They leaked it with box art and screenshots, which sent, I'm convinced, sent Sega scrambling, and they hastily put together a teaser video that was released about a day later, and you can go online and look at that now. There is absolutely no gameplay in that video. It's simply like Shadow and Sonic in their cars getting ready to race, and then it ends, and it's like more info coming soon. So like, do y'all have you played the Sonic Racing games, guys? What do you think about this? Like, because I'm gonna be honest with you, the screenshots looked absolutely gorgeous. And if it's like the transformed racing gameplay, which is what I think it is, I'm in.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun with that game on the Wii U. It was one of our favorite racing games in this household. So yeah, we're definitely looking forward to it, especially since, like I said, we've got 3 Switches here. So it'd be nice to be able to play, or if we're just playing on one, we'll see if that's possible. But looking forward to it.
Yeah, I played a little bit of the transformed game, I think on Vita when it was a free PS Plus game. But yeah, it was fun for a few times, but I'm not into that genre anymore. So this game I'll probably be passing, just like I passed on the Mario Kart game, Mario Kart 8 for Switch. I didn't buy.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Okay.
But one of those. I'm glad it's out for other people to enjoy it.
Well, because of the leak, I guess Sega also has put out a press release about this game. Now, up to 12 drivers online you'll be able to compete with. Team moves or team attacks now are going to be a part of the game, which is various team moves assist your teammates. Because you race as a team, you win as a team. You can also unleash something called a Team Ultimate. 4-player split screen. So, Tim, there you go for your family. Various offline and online racing modes, including Grand Prix, Exhibition, Time Trial, and Team Adventure. 14 spectacular offensive and defensive items to help overcome rival teams. There's an adventure mode and 15 playable characters from across the Sonic universe, and 3 distinct character types, including speed, technique, and power. I promise you that's not all of the characters in this game.
Yeah, I'm hoping they have some additional ones like they did on the Wii U version we had. I think we had Wreck-It Ralph and somebody else on there.
They're going to have unlockables. I mean,
yeah.
It's a Sega game. It's a racing game. I would definitely think that some of those will come back, and especially this is coming out later this year. And isn't there a Wreck-It Ralph movie coming out later this year as well?
Yes, there is.
So, and Sonic was, I think Sonic is in Wreck-It Ralph too. Yeah. So, there you go.
I think he was in the first one, just kind of a walk by, but I might be mistaken.
I think so, and I honestly think Mario is in the second one as well.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
That with Charles Martinet doing the voice. So that is leaked, and I'm sure we're going to get way more about that at E3. Also leaked earlier this week. Thank you, Jesus, for this. Leaked, I believe an Indian retailer leaked the release date of Mega Man 11, saying that it would be released on October 3rd. And lo and behold, 2 days ago, 3 days ago, so on Tuesday, Capcom dropped and just, oh my gosh, like I can't tell you how much I love this trailer. They dropped a brand new gameplay trailer of Mega Man 11 showing off another brand new boss and showing off some of the leaked and rumored features for Mega Man 11, including a new mode for the game called the Double Gear system, which allows you to use different special gears to cause Mega Man to do things that maybe he would not be able to do. The two that they've shown off are the ability to slow down or stop time and the ability to overcharge the Mega Buster so that it shoots a different, more powerful burst after the first one. Guys, I'm so freaking excited about this game. Like, I can't. It looks so good. The boss designs.
Between you and Ash, I don't know who's more excited.
They showed the cover off, and they showed like some of the boss designs, and then on top of all that, they don't even show it in the trailer. They just drop it discreetly after that there's going to be a Mega Man 11 amiibo. Yeah. And it's styled after the new version of Mega Man, and it's going to be a GameStop exclusive. And I got my pre-order in that day. Like, I went to the store. I was like, can I pre-order Mega Man 11? Yes, you can. I put all the money on it. Just do it right now. Pay it off. Be done with it. But you know what's funny that I noticed about this? I noticed in the promo picture of this where it talks about the Mega Man 11 Amiibo Edition, where it's like you get stickers and you get another cleaning cloth and you get the Amiibo and all that stuff. It says underneath that, it says Mega Man, and then underneath it, it says Mega Man Line.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So there's going to be more?
Oh,
Get a roll Amiibo?
My gosh. If, like, Capcom could take all of my money, like, just come and, like, I'll just hand you my wallet if you'll just make every Robot Master ever in Amiibo form. I don't care.
They need to make a 3-pack.
That's a lot of them.
3-pack of Mega Man there.
If they did a 3-pack of Mega Man...
Classic X and...
No. Butt Rock Mega Man, no. Mega Man, Rush, and Proto Man.
Okay, I like that one.
Yeah, like I'm in for that. Even if they did Mega Man, Rush, and Wily, yes.
Shellshock Prime in all caps says, "I am more excited than Marty and Ash combined. The hype is real. Sorry for the caps, but it's worth it."
The hype is real. The hype is real, and look, the hype is real even more because this game is rumored to be $29.99. All right, $29.99 for the or maybe $39 for the regular version, $59.99. I can confirm that for the enhanced Amiibo version. I don't want to be selfish here because I know that, like, I predicted that Amiibo would be gone and everything, but if they made this an oversized Amiibo, I would not be. I'd be fine with that. If it was like Detective Pikachu size, I mean, come on.
That would be awesome.
I'm here for that.
And that game looks very beautiful too.
It does, and it looks super difficult. But I would say this:
Mega Yard Yoshi sized.
Oh, if they did that, come on, yes.
It'd be $70 Amiibo.
Yes, I don't care. I buy it. It's on my shelf in the office. Here's the deal. Like, I've been playing through the Legacy Collection. I'm specifically playing through Legacy Collection 2 right now because those are the games that I don't remember as much. And there is no Mega Man game out there that can be harder than Mega Man 7. And it wasn't even really that difficult. It was just that Mega Man sprite and Mega Man, like, as he moved around the stages was kind of clunky and awkward because, it was like, it's Super Nintendo. Let's show that we can make big sprites, and let's show we can make everything colorful and make everything move. And so he just kind of felt like stuck in the mud sometimes, as I played. But that Dr. Wily battle at the end of Mega Man 7, that is some crap right there. You have a boss where you purposefully have to get hit by his attacks, right? And so basically what you have to do is he shoots elemental attacks. He shoots a fire attack, an ice attack, and a lightning attack. And it's just random. And you just have to choose whichever one you think is going to hurt less. Because they will hit you. Right? And so, like, every strategy that I read, like, I was dying. I was like, I'm going to go look up how to beat. And, like, every strategy was like, if you see the lightning ball, allow it to hit you so the others will pass by and not cause you to be frozen and take more damage. It was awful. Awful. But anyway, October 2nd, nothing else matters. I don't care about anything else at E3. Smash can come out tomorrow. I don't care. October 2nd is Mega Man Day, and I'm telling you right now on this podcast, mark my words, I'm taking that day off from work.
Show's done. That's a wrap. See you. Good night, guys.
I may take the week off from work. Forget it. I may quit my job. I don't know. Like, it's that, like, I'm going to be at GameStop that morning. It's going to be like, because look, like, I've got the Mega Man Legacy Collection. I've got the X Legacy Collection, which I'm going to play it. That's fine. And then, like, there's an indie title coming up soon called 20XX that looks like roguelike Mega Man X for the Switch. And then Mega Man 11's coming out. Oh, my gosh.
You're in Mega Man heaven.
I am. I didn't think it was possible. And, like, just so everybody knows that I'm not completely over the moon about everything Mega Man and I'm able to be objective about things, Eric Plunk, who is a friend and a listener of the show, tweeted me a new PS4 theme that came out in honor of Mega Man's 30th anniversary, that it has to be the most god-awful Mega Man thing I have ever seen in my life. Terrible. If you have not seen it, you need to go look it up. It is just like, it's so busy and it makes the PS4 screen look awful. And it's great. I mean, it definitely hits all the right notes because it starts out and it's like Mega Man and Mega Man 2 running through Dr. Wily's theme, like and then but then it pulls back and it's like this really weird rendered 3D birthday party for Mega Man. Yeah.
Kind of like the first cover. Is it like that?
No, it's not like that. Like, Mega Man's not there at all. Like, his helmet's there, and, like, there's some energy tanks and stuff, but it just, I don't know, it just looks off. And I don't know. But I'm telling you, if you're a listener of this show, and on October 2nd, you don't go to GameStop and you don't buy this game, shame, 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 shame. And you'll say, well, I don't like Mega Man. I don't care.
Well, they can come watch you stream it, right? You'll be streaming it, so they can come watch you stream it.
I may stream it. I may take the day off to stream that.
So
there you go.
Shell Shock says, there's another person on YouTube who is as big a Mega Man fan as you are. Ever heard of Rob Man from Happy Console Gamer?
I have not, but
the
now...
two of you would be best friends.
Yep.
Then Ian says, has anybody want a Mighty Number 9 amiibo? And I answered no.
Nobody wants Mighty Number 9 the game anymore either. That's why it's at the bargain bin for $5.99. Well, let's talk about some more E3 rumors before this turns into the Mega Man Dads podcast. Not to be confused with the Mega Dads podcast. A logo sheet was published online today that even Kotaku and Destructoid believe to be legit. And on this sheet were logos of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different games that look to be, I guess, shown during Nintendo's digital event or shown at some point during E3, maybe the Treehouse. All we have are logos. I'm going to read these off to you. But, guys, I'm going to be honest with you before I read these. They sound pretty legit, even though I don't know what some of them are. Dragon Fighter Z. The already announced Monster Hunter.
Well, I presume that's the already announced Monster Hunter. When I looked at the logo, it was kind of dark and blurry, so I couldn't tell exactly what game it was.
I went and looked at it. It does look like Monster Hunter Double Cross, which I think, what's that being called over here?
Ultimate something.
Monster Hunter Ultimate, yeah. FIFA 19, Killer Queen Black, Starlink Battle for Atlas, Paladins, Overcooked 2, Mario Tennis Aces, and I saved the best for last.
I noticed you skipped that one.
Fortnite. And I'm telling you, if Fortnite comes to the Switch, last year when I was in my office and I was trying to be quiet and that stream came on and Rocket League came on first, and I was like, like, you can't see this if you're listening. It's like, it's pumping my arms. I was super excited. I will do the same thing this year if it's Fortnite, because the Switch, I don't care what people think about this. The Switch needs this game to be on the Switch. Like Nintendo needs this game to be on the Switch right now because
if
of the
Fortnite
momentum
comes on the
behind it.
Switch, at least the free Battle Royale mode, I would download it and give it a try. You know, I'll give this, you know, I normally do, like every 2 or 3 years, I'll pick, you know, the shooter of the year and try and give it a try, and usually I'm like, meh, on it. But okay, it's been a while, you know, since Splatoon 1. I think was the last time I tried one. So yeah, this one will be one I'll be willing to try.
I mean, I am completely and totally terrible at this game. Like my son who is 11, who he has more wins than I do at this game.
I don't know if my son ever has any wins, but he's gotten to the top 10 a number of times.
Like I enjoy playing the game for what it is, right? But I just think that with the momentum behind it, and with like, I was with a group of 6th graders tonight who are becoming 7th graders here in the next few days at the church I work with, and we were out to eat and do an escape room. And I swear to you, if I heard any more about Fortnite before I got back to the church, I may have ripped my ears off and thrown them out the door of the church van. Like, everything centered around, like almost everything they talked about was either about LeBron James or about Fortnite, including while we were waiting to go in the escape room, who could do the best Fortnite emote dance? Yeah. Dude,
So,
like, I'm telling you guys, if you're not immersed in that world right now, that is some crazy stuff going on right now among preteen kids and older about Fortnite. I mean, it's like, you guys remember how Minecraft used to be? It was like everything that anybody talked about, you know, kids 11 to 15. That's Fortnite right now. That's how big this game is. And so people who back in the Wii U era or the Wii era who were saying Nintendo needs to get on the board with Mojang, they need to get, you know, everybody else has Minecraft, Nintendo needs to get Minecraft. That's Fortnite right now for Nintendo. And so if they're not backing the dump truck up to Epic with money, somebody needs to be.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping this is like, do any of these games here, like, just like, do they catch you? Do they grab you something about them, like something that you're excited about?
Well, I don't know. There's some of them that are exciting. I like the aspect of, I'm missing the excitement part. Let's put it that way. I'm kind of disappointed that the more exciting thing is apparently people trying to leak this stuff. So, like with Rocket League, I don't remember anything hinting at that coming out. So that was a great surprise.
Yeah, that was a legit surprise.
And so now the Fortnite surprise is kind of ruined. You know, so I'm hoping there's still something there that will surprise me. But overall, there's some of these games, I don't remember them by name, but if I look at them, I'll probably be like, oh yeah, that one. But I'm excited that, and with you on the whole thing, that they need to have Fortnite on this, definitely. I would love it if Overwatch was on there, but yeah, and Fortnite would be awesome.
Blizzard has pretty much come out and said that that's absolutely not happening.
Right. I know. But
I would love Overwatch
cool.
even more than Fortnite, but because, I mean, I used to play it pretty heavily on the PS4, but I haven't because I don't have time.
Right.
But yeah, and I mean, I get what you're saying, that like, if this is the real list, yes, there's some surprises on here, like what is Killer Queen Black? What is Dragon Fighter Z? What is Paladins? But like, where is the, like, of course Smash is not on there, and that's a big kind of like, why is Smash not on this list, right?
Right.
But
maybe it's a third-party list. Who knows?
Well,
no, Mario Aces is on
Mario
there.
Aces is on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything else is third party. You're exactly right.
Smash has its own page.
Like, I want to see, like, is Starlink Battle for Atlas, is that the Ubisoft game that they talked about last year where it had, like, its own Skylanders or its own amiibo that, like, had things that
I
went
think
together?
so, yeah.
Spaceships, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm still interested in that game, even though I think Toys to Life is pretty dead.
Yeah, I was interested when they showed it off last year.
Yeah, I'll be interested in see how well that catches on.
Yeah. I think at this point, if they haven't, like, retooled that game to be non-Toys to Life, I think that their smartest thing would be cards, if anything, because the last thing anybody needs is another like tub full of plastic figurines in their video game room or in their video game space.
Yeah.
Like honestly, we have yarn Yoshis. We have all colors of yarn Yoshis, and they like I noticed the other night after like my wife had some kind of like, you know, one of those parties where they get free stuff if people buy things like a Tupperware party, but this is for like clothes or something. And like I noticed afterwards, I was like, oh, the yarn Yoshis are out, and my daughter was like, yeah, we let the baby play with them.
Oh.
I was like,
Of
well,
course.
that's cool. Yeah, I mean, like, so you're not playing with them, you know, since they're yours. That's cool. But I would just keep I would say keep your eyes out on that. And if we spoiled you, we're sorry, but we got spoiled too. So join us in our misery.
Sharing is caring, as my daughter says.
Yeah, here's the good thing. Here's the good thing. You ready for this? In a week and a half, we won't hear any more about all these E3 predictions and rumors and crap because it'll be done.
Yep.
And you can go back to resuming your normal video game lives.
Well,
So
no,
that's
because then
good.
we'll have to go through a week or two of people complaining about what wasn't there
Oh,
or
sure.
wasn't
Yeah, absolutely.
blowing their expectations.
Absolutely. One other thing that that released this week we want to touch on very, very briefly is that Nintendo surprise dropped a new version of the 2DS XL, the Hylian Shield Edition, which releases on July the 2nd for $159.99 with a copy of Link Between Worlds preloaded. Pre-orders on the website went up yesterday, and they're still available. This is a GameStop exclusive, and so if you're listening right now and you would like one of those, you can probably go and get one still. Jesse, should we tell them the news?
Sure. We're not sure how we'll do this yet, but
Yeah.
we have plans.
We have plans. Good plans. We actually bought one of these. Actually, Jesse bought two of them. One for his son or himself. I'm not sure.
It's for him, and he's paying me back.
All right, so it's for him. And we actually bought a second one, and we are going to do a giveaway of this version to one lucky listener of the show. And we'll figure out how we're going to do that and let you know. And yes, before some of you smarty pantses answer or type in the chat, yes, we still have a pair of Joy-Cons to give away. Who knows? We may give it all away at once. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We need to get together and figure that kind of stuff out, and we will let you know very soon. Probably
We got episode 200 coming up soon.
That's right. That's
18
right.
episodes.
Yeah. I think I think we can ride out 18 episodes with that, right? I don't know.
It's
We'll
18
figure
weeks.
it out. It is 18 weeks. It may not be a cool prize then,
Yeah. I figured it out once. I think it's somewhere in September when that lands.
right? Yep. So that might be something cool to do, but we're definitely going to be giving away one of those Highland Shield, and man, they do look sweet. Like if I didn't already have my Dream 2DS, which by the way, listeners of the show who haven't been following that, I was very dismayed when Nintendo put out the black and teal 2DS and did not release the white and orange creamsicle version over here. And then they finally did, and everyone got to share in my plight as I lamented not being able to get my creamsicle 2DS. And then I just it went on sale at my local Walmart for like $25 off, and I put mine up for sale. And lo and behold, Jesse's son came to my rescue, and now I have my Dream 2DS.
Didn't you buy the blue and teal one just like a few days before they announced that white and orange was coming to the US or something like that?
It was a couple of months because
Okay.
I got the 2DS XL on the day it came out.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I bought that in good faith, believing that white and orange one would never come over here. And I still maintain to this day that those were supposed to release with Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. Because the color schemes match so much with Solgaleo and Lunala.
That would make sense. Because
I still,
they did that with X and Y. As when they launched the original 2DS day and date,
yep.
at least in North America.
I still believe that's exactly what it was for. But anyway, if I didn't have that orange and that beautiful, gorgeous, amazing orange and white 2DS, I would be all over this one. It's fantastic. And that's like, if you've never played that Zelda game, by the way, you owe it to yourself to play Link Between Worlds.
And even though my son has your old 2DS XL, he still wants this 2DS XL. So he's turning into a collector like me.
Here's the thing. Like, when the 2DS and 3DS are done, I can't wait to see the pictures of people who have every one of them.
Yeah.
Like, who've gone all the way from DS to DS Lite to DSi to 3DS to 3DS XL to new 3DS to new 3DS XL, now 2DS XL, and they have all of them. It's going to be
other than the DS Lite, I've owned every one of them, but I've always handed it down when I got an upgrade, so I've never kept any of my old ones.
Same here.
The DS Lite was fantastic. That white one, when it first came out, it was meant to mimic, kind of looks of the Wii. Man, it's so sleek.
Yeah, I kept
that was a fantastic system.
Yeah, I kept my DS Fat all the way to the DSi.
Wow. I was an early adopter of the 3DS too, and I have all those Ambassador games. So I'm never they can have those when they prime for my cold dead fingers.
Yeah, the Ambassador games are on this 3DS.
See, that's the one too I want really bad. Anyway, that is our headlines and news for the week, guys. Let's pause here for a moment, and then we'll move into.
Actually, before we do, we could do a quick mention that Mario Tennis Aces demo goes live tomorrow night
at 9 p.m. Central.
I thought it was.
No, I'm sorry.
It's 9 Eastern.
9 Eastern, and is live until Monday morning. Correct?
Yeah, like 3 a.m.
Yep. It goes live tomorrow night at 9 Eastern, just at the most inconvenient time of Friday night.
Yeah, the Discord chat was saying, hope it goes live at midnight so I can ready to rock it. I'm like, nope, you have to wait a little while longer.
And this, of course, it's like Splatfest. Every time they do a Splatfest or something like this, I have absolutely zero time to put into it that weekend. So,
yeah, my son gets off work tomorrow at 9, so I'll probably be doing it. Maybe I'll try to stream some if I can. After I come home from picking him up. Absolutely. And that will be good. Check out our YouTube channel, and hopefully you'll see Jesse's stream over there. Let's take a pause here for just a minute, and then we will get into what we've been playing. I was looking at the wrong timer. I want to make sure I got the right time. All right, I'm ready. All right, guys, let's talk a little bit here about what we've been playing this week. Tim, you are our guest this week. Why don't you tell us what you have been playing?
Well, let's see. I've been playing one. Actually, my son has been stealing my 3DS from me because he likes playing mine, even though he has a 3DS of his own. But he started playing an old game that got me back into it, and that's Moon. I don't know if you guys have heard of that game. I've heard of it. I think it was a Renegade Kid game. But I started getting back into it, and it's actually still a lot of fun coming back to it. So I was playing that on my 3DS, and then it's actually no, never mind. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Was it Moon Chronicles or just Moon? When you download it, it's Chronicles. Yeah, they re-released it for the 3DS, and it was Chronicles. So yeah, it is Renegade Kid. Yep, Moon Chronicles. Yep. So playing that on there, and then of course on my Switch, one game that I'm actually playing that I have to do a review for, it's coming out soon, is Mille Noir. It's definitely for older gamers. It's not going to be a family game. It's kind of like a GTA almost type game set in the 70s, not graphically like GTA or not even the first ones, but the violence type of thing. And
Yeah.
it's got some funny parts
Yeah,
too.
I looked it up on the Nintendo site so I could get the spelling for my notes, and it was age gated.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, so it's I might have to put that in my review up front, saying, okay, if you're gonna watch this review, just keep in mind what you're watching.
Well,
So that
we can always age gate it on the YouTube side too.
okay, cool.
I think we can.
Sushi Strikers demo, I played that, and I actually had a lot of fun with it. I was actually looking forward to it. Probably one of the first few people to look forward to it by the first announcement. But when it came out, it seems like a lot more people are enjoying it, including myself. Got a lot out of it, and actually went through it a few times, even after beating it. There's a couple spots where I was trying to get an S rating instead of an A rating. And just for some reason I can't figure out why I can't get that S rating on a couple of those spots. And then another one, Manticore. So what is it? Yeah, Manticore. It's a space shooter game, kind of like a Star Fox space shooter game. That's you pilot a ship, you go through and have to either escort, like the first couple levels I played, you escort bigger ships, get the like other ships that are coming in to try to steal something from them or blow them out of the sky or whatever, or out of space. Trying to protect that bigger ship and stuff. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Manticore's labeled at $20, but then discounted to $16. Not sure why, but it just is.
Probably to get more sales, right? Because people are starting to figure that out.
well, the game launched mid-April.
Yep. That was actually having a lot of fun with that, and of course, those are the ones I've been playing lately. So I'll leave it at that. And then of course, I'll probably be jumping into that Pokemon Quest later or tomorrow to try that out. That's what I've been playing.
Awesome. What about you, Jesse?
See, I'm trying to think if I played anything other than Pokemon Quest, and I don't think I have. Other than my normal, puzzle games that I use to kill time. So I don't think I really have anything to add this week. I did buy West of Loathing, but I haven't launched it yet.
Hmm.
That was a very good review, by the way, Marty.
Oh, well, thank you. I was worried about that. It's really, and I'm going to talk about this here in a minute. Like, I think that it's a hard game to capture all of the, like, I guess what I might call the essence of that game, because like where I'm at in the game is kind of you're in between, I guess, like different tasks and things. So like the video is a lot of me like walking around finding stuff, but like there is so much humor in that game that I can't, like, I don't want to ruin it for people. But like one of the great parts of that game is like you start hearing rumors about this cave that like supposedly all these people have quested to find, and it's like this mythical place and everything. And you get to the cave, finally you like put together all the quests for it, and you get there, and when you go in, the first thing that you see is a plaque on the wall, and you read about it, like you read it, and it's like so and so and so and so and so and so, and arrived at this cave on such and such date along with so and so who was an expert plaque maker. And then like you continue on, and there's another plaque, and it just goes through this overly verbose story about basically how they went to the cave and got all the treasure and then left. And you go through this cave, which is in a straight line, and like it's talking about how easy the cave was to get through, and how like they had to stop and eat a snack and all this, and like it just keeps going on. And by the time you get to the end, there's an empty treasure chest with nothing in it, and you've read like 20 plaques, and then you have to make this huge long walk back, and that's it. That's all there is. And that is just kind of indicative of the humor of this game. Like it's all over the place, y'all. And like I can't tell you how, like, I love it. Like I got it, and I was like kind of interested in it because of the humor, but I didn't expect it to be like, and this sounds bad because we interviewed these guys, Like I didn't expect it to be a game that really grabbed me. Like I expected it to be like any other turn-based RPG lately. Like I don't have time for that. I don't. But I find myself thinking about it, and I find myself coming back to it. Right. Unlike any other turn-based RPG that I've had lately. Jesse, I think that you're really going to like it when you get time to sit down and get into it. It's one of those games that like it starts out easy combat-wise, so like, and it just keeps like adding layers to it. So like the combat is deceptively simple, but there's all kinds of things, and like you kind of can take your character in any way you want to, because you specialize in a certain like my character's class is cow puncher. All right, and then like one of the other character classes is like bean sprite or something like that. Like and basically what they do is they use beans to make magical attacks and to do magic, which
is it like Eric Hartman?
I don't know because I don't get that reference because I'm not a South Park fan. But
Well,
yeah,
I'm talking about farting.
no, it's not farting. It's not farting. And then like there's a thief, a magician, and basically a warrior class, and the warrior class is cow puncher. And so you get these books that are like, and they give you more skills when you read them, which it doesn't tell you that. So like you'll get them and it'll be like, oh, I got a book, cool. And then if you read it, you know, you'll get a new skill or whatever. And like it's like the Art of Cow Punching, volume 259.
Wow.
You know, and you can select what you get. Guys, seriously, it's really good. It's really good. I know that I recommend a lot of games on here, but like it's $11. All right. And for like stick figures, it's some of the most fluid animation on the Switch. And the art style is just really cool. Man, it looks like something that you sat in math class and drew with a ballpoint pen because you were tired of listening to the lecture.
Right.
So you're like drawing with this pen, like, and it's just. My current companion is Doc Alice, the drunk doctor, who like you get a choice of a companion at the beginning, like in the first town that you go to, and she is like the way that you befriend her is by giving her a bottle of whiskey, and she like appears on the map when you're in a town, and she's just standing there just turning a bottle up over and over and over again. It's and like I don't know, it's just really good. It's really funny. I think anybody who like if you like turn-based RPGs and humorous games, I think it's right at home for you. You can go check out our review over on YouTube if you want to see it in motion. Although I think I only had like 1 or 2 fights while I was recording, and so but like you're traveling between map points and there's like little random things that pop up and happen, you know, during those times. And they'll cause fights or they'll get you experience or different things like that. It's just, yeah, like go check it out. It's $11. I mean, who does, you know, if like, I don't know a whole lot of people who don't have $11 to spare. And so if you buy it and you really don't like it, then, you know,
right.
Like it's not like you've sunk $60 into Xenoblade Chronicles, right?
Well,
Right.
I think I'll have to pick that up, especially after your explanation of it. And at 1 hour and 31 minutes and 45 seconds, you have your motion of drinking that I think Jesse should capture and
Oh, sure, yeah,
use that.
yeah.
Use that in somewhere.
Yeah, let's yeah, no,
We're trying to
let's not.
save that video.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jesse, you've been
'Cause
playing
I
anything else?
do-
I'm sorry, I kind of railroaded your time there.
No, I didn't have anything. So, yeah,
Okay.
I think he's referring to. I have an animated GIF of Justin with his dad bod and Zach. Kind of, he did this stiff robot movement.
Yep.
So,
Right.
Now we need one of Marty.
There you go.
If I remember, I'll
There you
try
go.
to grab that.
Yeah, everybody needs an animated GIF, and that's how you pronounce that, by the way. Anyway,
Not Jif.
but
I go back and
GIF-
forth depending
GIF
on
is peanut butter.
what
Let me talk about a couple of games I've been playing this week. I've been downloaded last week after the show. Downloaded Bloodstained: Curse of the Moon, Oh my gosh, guys, it's Castlevania on the Switch. It's like honestly, it's really just Castlevania, and they should have probably just called it Castlevania. It's fantastic, multiple paths, tons of characters you can get and switch around. It just plays so well. That that retro 8-bit style. I know that people are tired of that right now, but it's so good. It's so like I don't know. Besides West of Loathing, as far as indie games that are out right now, I don't know any more that I could recommend. We're waiting on a code for Just Shapes and Beats, and I will do a video of that one when it comes in. I'm really excited about that one, just because I love rhythm games, music-based games like that. But Bloodstained Curse of the Moon is fantastic. I cannot recommend it enough if you like Castlevania, especially Castlevania 3. Brandon talked about this on the show last week and talked about how it evoked huge memories of Castlevania 3 for him. And I think that's exactly right. So it's out there. I've also, this week, I downloaded Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, which collects 12 Street Fighter games, and learned some things about this, guys. Number one, I learned that, did you know there's a game before Street Fighter 2?
That's why it's
Street
called
Fighter 1?
That's why it's called 2.
Well, see, here's the thing is like I think Capcom wants you to forget that there's a game before Street Fighter 2, because I played it and I beat it, and it was the most god-awful fighting game experience of my life. And I've played Primal Rage and that other game that was in arcades where you could like cut people's arms and heads off. And it had really no rhyme or reason. I can't remember what the name of it was, but man, Street Fighter is so bad. And if you want a great example of it, I tweeted out earlier this week, after extensive time with Street Fighter, I found this to be a typical match. I was fighting against the next to last fighter, who is Adon, who you actually, he came back in Street Fighter Alpha. In those games, he's the fighter you fight right before Sagat. And he hit me 3 times and I was dead.
Oh.
Yeah, it was bad. And he spammed the same move all the way across the screen. Like I hit him a couple times and it didn't even do anything. And he just hit me 3 times and it was done. And then they laugh at you. Like there's this horrible digitized voice at the end of every match, and every character says the exact same thing. He's like, "You got a long way to go before you beat me, kid." And then for some reason, it shows a picture of a time bomb ticking down to 0 because apparently they're going to blow up Ryu. There's absolutely no story about it at all. But another reason this game is so god awful is that inputting the special moves, like Ryu has all his familiar special moves. He has the Hadouken, he has the Shoryuken, he has the kick, whirlwind kick. Like you put them in and they might work. Like maybe, and like you'll go to jump and Ryu may jump as high as you want him to, or he may just kind of hop up in the air just a little bit. I don't know. It's awful. I really think the only reason it's there is for archival purposes.
Didn't the first Street Fighter game have the large punching buttons? Wasn't that the game that had the large punching buttons at the arcade?
You're right. It did. There were actually 2 versions of the game. There was the game that most people got, which introduced the 3 buttons, light, medium, and heavy punch and kick. And then there were also deluxe versions of that arcade cabinet that had like rubber places, like rubber mats or rubber pouches, I guess. I don't know, that you could actually hit.
You punch them.
To punch and kick. And various reports said that was awful to play. Like that it was so inconsistent that and the technology simply was not there at that time. It was pretty much a novelty.
Yep. I tried it once and never again. I remember that.
Yeah. And so here's the thing. These are very faithful arcade ports, right? You're not getting the home console versions. You're getting arcade ports of this game, of these games. So you're getting Street Fighter, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition, Street Fighter 2 Hyper Edition, Super Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Then you get Street Fighter Alpha 2, Street Fighter Alpha 3, and then 3 versions of Street Fighter 3. Street Fighter 3, Street Fighter 3 Giant Edition, and Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, all of which are complete. And one thing I really do like about this collection, and it's $39.99 for anybody who's willing or who's interested in buying it, is that the museum part of it is super extensive, right? Like it has concept art, it even has a picture in here, and I don't know, I saw this tweeted today, that the original Street Fighter was going to be ported to the NES, and it was not. They abandoned it, and there's actually a screenshot from that in there. It's like the first time, one of the first times it's been shown publicly.
It would be ugly.
Oh, it's terrible. But it, like...
Because the Super Nintendo version wasn't very pretty either, if I remember right.
Really
I had that one.
It's a really cool, just whole package celebration of Street Fighter. It's honestly what Mega Man should have gotten. If they can fit 12 Street Fighter games on one cartridge, they can fit 10 Mega Man games on a cartridge. I mean, there's a lot of that argument going out there, and I kind of agree with it. But here's my...
You can't monetize it that way.
That's true. My verdict on this game is this. If you really, really, really like Street Fighter, and I really, really like Street Fighter, then this is a game you want.
This one had the special, multi-cabinet tournament mode, right?
No. It talks about that, but it does not have the multi-cabinet tournament mode in there.
Oh, for some reason I thought the Switch version was supposed to have
the Switch version is supposed to have that was the only version. The Switch version was the only one to have the multi-cabinet version game.
Okay, so maybe it does. I don't know.
Because the other versions don't have it.
A ton of time with it, and so maybe it's in there somewhere. I think that's like Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, right?
I don't remember.
I forget which one it was.
Here's the thing.
A tournament mode one.
My verdict on this game is this: is if you really, really, really like Street Fighter, then buy this one. But if you just like Street Fighter for a pick-me-up fighting game every now and then the Ultra Street Fighter version of Street Fighter 2 Turbo that was released last year, that on the Switch, get that instead. It's better. I feel like these games are great, but that other one has been refined for home consoles, and it just has a lot more to offer. I don't know, it's a little overwhelming for me, all of these versions of Street Fighter. And one thing that I did after you play the game is after playing Street Fighter and failing miserably at it for 3 hours, is you can set the difficulty for the arcade games. It's just you have to do it before you fire them up. If you press the Y button over their icon when you're picking it, you can set it's almost like you're the arcade owner and you're the cabinet operator, right?
Well, yeah, it's the same. That's how it worked in the original arcades, is by dip switches on the board to toggle the options. So you had to do that with the system off, and then boot it up.
Right, and on the turbo versions, and later there's game speed and all kinds of different stuff like that you can play with. So, I mean, it's a really cool arcade experience, and I think the museum is really special. But again, I would only pick this up if you were just a hardcore Street Fighter fan. I love being able to play it as the arcade intended, especially Super Street Fighter 2, which is my favorite one out of all of them. And but I do get to experience Street Fighter Alpha for the first time, because I didn't really ever pick those up before on PlayStation. I did have the Street Fighter Alpha 2 for Super Nintendo back in the day, but I like having these arcade versions, and I've never ever in my life touched Street Fighter 3, not once. So I'm looking forward to digging into those when I have time. But again, Street Fighter fans, this is for you. But if you're a casual fighting game fan, the Ultra Street Fighter 2 Turbo collection or game that came out last year for Switch, that's going to be more in your vein. So guys, that's what we've been playing this week. Before we close out the show, what we want to do is we want to shine the community spotlight on Tim for just a few minutes and allow him to talk about what he is doing and where we can find him and all kinds of things like that. For those of you who don't know, Tim is our Discord manager. He is the guy who is pretty much responsible for getting the patron Discord open and kind of hounding us Nintendo dads to switch over to that. And I'm actually so glad that we did. But since then, Tim has also transferred, not just from being the Discord manager, but also to Patreon producer and video reviewer as well here at Nintendo Dads, which we're totally thankful for, along with all of our community creators. So, Tim, the spotlight's yours. You tell us where we can find you. Tell us what you're up to and anything else you want to tell us about yourself.
Cool. Thanks again for letting me come on the show. It's been an honor, believe it or not. Thank you very much. You're actually letting me live a dream. So, to be able, when I was a kid, growing up, reading Nintendo Power, that's what I wanted. Thought that's what I would do when I got older, was be able to review video games and do this type of thing. Now it's obviously a lot different from when we were kids, reading the magazines, being able to do things on YouTube like this. So thank you for letting me help out and do these type of things to review games and share it with others. And so, and thank you for this outlet, the Nintendo Dads. So you guys were the first podcast I found, because I wasn't into podcasts before. And I was like, well, let me try out some podcasts. And so the first thing I did was look at Nintendo podcasts. And also, so I just went through a bunch of names and came across Nintendo Dads, and a few years ago, and here, rest is history, essentially. So I've been listening for a long time, and again, I appreciate the opportunity to participate and be on this show. Where you can find me is pretty much anywhere under the name NeoPrime33. That name I've had for a long, long time, since the AOL years. So, but I use that for my screen name pretty much anywhere for online gaming or social media. So you can find me anywhere in those spots. And any projects that I'm working on, essentially, like I said before, I'm reviewing the games for you guys. Always trying to look for places where I can help out in that area, and also starting to research a little bit of Extra Life, believe it or not, even though it's
Hard work
June.
you put in. Yeah. Wow, you just blinked in and out. Did y'all hear all of that?
Well, you blinked in and out from my point of view.
Oh, crazy. Crazy.
Okay.
That's fun. Fun internet times here on the internet. What I was saying, Tim, was we just want to thank you for being on the show, and thanks for all your hard work on the Discord community and different things like that. To hear people say that about something that we create, is incredibly humbling. And we're thankful for our fans. We would not be anything without the people who support us, on Twitter, on Facebook, on social media, by downloading the podcast, by being a patron, all kinds of different things like that. It means so much. I don't think that we say it enough. And sometimes I think we kind of overemphasize it, but sometimes I don't think we say it enough, how thankful we are for our fans, because really, if you guys aren't here, this is just, 4 guys or so recording this in our offices and basements. And I mean, how cool is that, right?
Well,
Yes.
not cool from my point of view.
We know, yeah, it's not cool. It's literally not cool from Jesse's point of view. And we know he doesn't listen to the podcast anyway. So, I mean,
for those who aren't watching the YouTube video, I mean, I'm referring to the lack of air conditioning.
Right. Yeah. So we're just thankful for all of our fans. And so, Tim, thanks again for being on the show tonight. Guys, I think that's episode 182. We want to thank you for joining in tonight via YouTube stream, and also for those of you who download the podcast every week.
Hey, look,
we
my
want to
Skype
say,
just says you logged in.
Yeah. Awesome.
Welcome.
Fantastic.
Welcome to Skype.
We want to say a huge thanks to our Patreon producers, Chris Mears, Dave Ernsberger, and Timothy Off. Without you guys, we definitely couldn't make it possible, as well as all of our patrons. And if you want to be a patron, of the Nintendo Dads podcast, and we know you do, you can head over to patreon.com/Nintendo Dads to support us. Even $1 a month helps. You can follow us on all our social media at Nintendo Dads. You can email us at nintendodads@gmail.com. We're on Twitch at twitch.tv/Nintendo Dads and YouTube at youtube.com/Nintendo Dads. And if you want to, oh yeah, we know you want to, you can call in and leave a voicemail at 929-25-NDADS or 929-256-3237. If you want to buy some sweet Nintendo Dads merch, you can head over to tiny.cc/Nintendo Dads store, all lowercase. And we want to say a big thanks to OC Remix for the music throughout the show, as well as Carter Johnson and Adam Leonard for all the sweet art. And I just want to take a personal note right here and say, shout out to Adam Leonard. He posted earlier today about having to take his beloved cat, who is more than a cat, was a family member to him.
Oh, no.
And so, Adam, we want to say, man, we're here for you. We stand with you. We're sorry. If you ever hear this, understand that we love everybody in the community. You're part of our community. We're part of yours. We're thankful for you, and we're sorry for your loss. And
Definitely.
I know words can't replace what's going on there, but man, we're stand with you, and we're sorry about your cat, and about which is more than a cat. It's a pet. It's a family member. It's something that you loved. And I've been there, done that. I know many of us have, and so we love you, and we're thinking about you. So, guys, we're gonna get right out of here. Be sure to keep checking us out over at all our social media channels, YouTube, and every Friday for a brand new podcast. For me, for Jesse, for Tim, and Zach and Justin, who couldn't be here tonight, thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.